question that Finn and Jake's algebraic relationship makes Adventure Time what it is. But we're not here to talk about Finn and Jake today. Sure, they make Adventure Time, but one of Adventure Time's other greatest strengths is its amazing cast of supporting characters. Over the seasons, Finn and Jake's adventure has introduced us to many notable faces and shown us that the land of Ooo is a fully realized world. We've seen them rock the world of Finn and Jake, now let's see what it's like if they were to have the spotlight all on their own. My name is Tim, and today on Channel Frederator, we're taking a look at some of the Adventure Time side characters that we think deserve their own show. So without further ado, here are some Adventure Time characters that we think are ready to break out and act on their own. Number 1, Fionna and Cake. Okay, it might seem like a bit of a no-brainer or a cheat to start with Fionna and Cake since they are, after all, just gender-swapped versions of the characters who already star in the show. However, since the duo first appeared as part of fanfiction written by the Ice King, they've become beloved favorites, sparking the audience's imaginations to take them far beyond their initial mirroring of Finn and Jake. If the world of fan art and merchandising is any indicator, people are clamoring for more of this fantastic female adventuring team. And who can blame them? They are a lot more efficient at what they do than Finn and Jake, and there's something appealing about seeing the reverse world in which they live. From hipster vampire King Marshall Lee to the more threatening Ice Queen. Maybe the most logical spin-off to Adventure Time is a world we're already familiar with and love. Sure, it's not reinventing the wheel, but maybe it doesn't need to. Number 2, Peppermint Butler. Few characters on Adventure Time represent the show's perfect mix of cheerful cartoon nostalgia and deranged dark humor more than Peppermint Butler. A loyal subject of the Candy Kingdom and majordomo to Princess Bubblegum, old Peppermint Butler is portrayed as an even-keeled, diligent, and pun intended, sweet-natured individual. However, longtime fans of the show know that Peppermint Butler's personality and backstory reveal there may be something far more creepy and sinister lurking beneath his after-dinner cool mint surface. He's a known practitioner of dark magic, and he even has a relationship with death. Indeed, it's because of this relationship that Finn and Jake don't lose their souls to death, and all Peppermint Butler asked in return was their skin. Now, Finn and Jake still have their skin, so there's always a chance PB was just throwing out one of the show's trademark irreverent one-liners, but considering all the hints that support his dabbling with the dark arts, we doubt it. That's why it makes total sense to us to give Peppermint Butler his own series and explore his ties with the more gruesome side of the land of Ooo. Sweet and Scary is, after all, a recipe for fun. It seems like there's a whole plot in here about how our favorite butler is the one that keeps the kingdom together while Princess Bubblegum loses herself in science. 2 PBs, but which rules the kingdom? The princess or the dark sorcerer she entrusts the kingdom to? Dun dun dun! Number 3, Tree Trunks. I know what you're thinking. How could a gentle and demure character like Tree Trunks possibly hold up her own show? But when you think about it, Tree Trunks has been the centerpiece for some of Adventure Time's most bizarre episodes. From her introduction where she dies to get a bite of the ultimate apple to her return as the insane overlord of an alternate dimension, Tree Trunks is a character who starts off with a grandmotherly appeal and instead delivers a whole heap of crazy. And if there's one thing Adventure Time fans have proven, they like it when stuff gets really crazy. We feel like Tree Trunks could serve up hilarity as easily as she serves up her trademark pies. And if that dichotomy of character isn't enough to support a show, then what about her raising the freaking Lich King baby? If raising a version of the Lord of Death isn't a compelling narrative, I don't know what is. Number 4, Prisma. A Wishmaster and dream manifestation, Prisma is a character who has the ability to traverse planes in the Adventure Time universe that aren't accessible to Finn and Jake. Because of this, we know this kind, cosmic being often rubs shoulders with some of the show's more metaphysical characters, like Death, the Cosmic Owl, and Party God. His contact with characters and worlds that are beyond Finn and Jake's reach mean Prisma could show us a whole new aspect of the Adventure Time story. Furthermore, the fact that the character is voiced by notable comedian Kumail Nanjiani almost guarantees the hilarity would never stop. Cosmic comedy with an out-of-this-world character? Sign us up. However, there's always a risk with characters like this. It's easy to overemphasize the parts of their character that we love without offering anything new. The trick to this one would be giving Prisma real problems and high stakes to make sure that, while he's hilarious, he also has to be an ever-powerful Wishmaster, capable of making the world a better place using indirect influence. Maybe that couldn't hold up a whole multi-season series, but it could support a mini-arc about the most powerful universal forces in the land and what they get up to. Number 5, Lumpy Space Princess. Come on, you thought we'd do a list of characters who deserve their own series and not include Lumpy Space Princess? Easily one of Adventure Time's most breakout supporting characters, the cult of LSP exists for a reason. Confident, loud, and proud, Lumpy Space Princess is somebody who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to say so. Fans have been captivated by LSP's no-hold-barred Valley Girl persona and always delight in her appearance in Finn and Jake's adventures. Over the course of the show, we've been given several glimpses into LSP's world, including a voyage into her home kingdom of Lumpy space, and also a period of time where she lived as a hobo while fighting with her parents. Both of these scenarios alone seem ripe for a more in-depth look. Can you imagine a whole series set in Lumpy space? Or what about a cartoon about LSP's time on the road? All we know is Lumpy Space Princess is one of those characters whose appearance always leaves us begging for more. If she had her own show, we'd get our wish. And while all of these moments would be hilarious, they'd also let us see more to her character. LSP might be the most capable person behind Finn, Jake, and Marcy. She lived on her own, she's acted as a princess, and she was willing to help with vampire hunting. You could take her in any number of directions without stretching her character beyond the believable. Number 6, all of the Nightosphere. Okay, so not exactly a character, but wouldn't you just love to see a series set in the Nightosphere? Everyone knows the most fascinating alternate dimension in the Adventure Time mythos is the Nightosphere, ruled over by Marceline's dad, Hunts and Abadir, and populated by demons and all manner of spooky things. Now, if you're like us and appreciate the entertainment value of things that go bump in the night, then a Nightosphere spin-off seems like a no-brainer. It's also the perfect framing device to have more stories that center around Marceline. Maybe a prequel about her younger days with her dad before she and Simon met up, or maybe an Adventure Time version of Tales from the Crypt called Tales from the Nightosphere. The show already borders on gallows humor and dark sensibilities. Why not take the leap? Also, given Abadir's business attire, this could work as a dry, muted comedy set in a bureaucratic underworld. Number 7, Gunther. Once declared the most evil being in creation, it's sort of hard to see the Ice King's penguin sidekick Gunther as anything other than an adorable comic foil. You know, except for those moments when his playful activities lead to the detriment of Finn, Jake, or the Ice King himself. Or that whole thing when Gunther was revealed to be Orgulorg, a space creature bent on world domination. You know, the usual stuff one expects from a cutesy animal sidekick. Because Gunther's presence is so cute and devilish, we can see there being enough to merit his own show. Who would have thought that one of the characters with the most nuanced personalities would be the one that never says a word, unless whack whack is a word. But be it in penguin form or a vicious space beast, we're always down for more Gunther. Number 8, Beemo. Now, one may argue that Beemo, Finn and Jake's living video game console, is too close to Adventure Time's core duo to ever be able to break away and have his own show. However, in several Beemo-centric episodes, we've seen the little computer with a heart of gold prove that he has an entire identity away from his crusading housemates. The purest character in the Adventure Time universe, there's an innocence that exists in Beemo's presentation that is refreshing and sweet for the viewer, but also tragic. For example, in an episode where Beemo befriends a bubble, the viewer experiences the joy of the relationship and then ultimate terror when the bubble is popped. Because Beemo, of all the characters on the show, tends to elicit such an emotional response with viewers, we can see wanting to spend more time with him. The fact that Beemo, a machine, is the embodiment of innocence and optimism is the kind of sci-fi material that would have made Isaac Asimov jump for joy. Maybe a spin-off about Beemo would be the most philosophical, but it would also be the most sweet. Number 9, Firewolf and Snow Golem. In one Adventure Time episode that gave us a glimpse of Ooh away from the exploits of Finn and Jake, we were treated to the touching and humorous story of a firewolf pup separated from its family and raised by a snow golem. Despite the follies of mixing fire and ice, the duo transcended their differences to form a familial bond, and gave the series one of its most heartwarming pieces of storytelling. The episode, devoid of talking, except for a little bit from the Ice King, instead showed us the strengthening connection between two creatures via their emotions. But just like a Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoon, the silence also provided the perfect ground for comedic moments as well. Since the episode already exists outside the world of Finn and Jake, it wouldn't be that much of a stretch to see the pair get united for a whole series of adventures. And honestly, based on the glimpse we were given, we can't say we wouldn't want a dozen more. Thanks for watching Adventure Time characters that deserve their own show. If you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy our Adventure Time life lessons or our 60 degrees connecting Adventure Time to Gravity Falls. Also, in case you haven't heard, our online store Stash Riot is holding a $1,000 gift card giveaway contest, so you should totally check out our link in the description for details on how to enter. So go ahead, check it out, and remember, Frederator loves you.